So, we have a couple of announcements before we continue. First of all, we have stickers. We are going to be releasing these. As you can see, it's the same logo that's right there. This is our logo designed by our very own Sylvester, Noah Lombard. He's incredible graphic artist and animator and stuff, and he hates when I brag about him, so I'm going to do it anyway because I love the guy. There it is. So we have stickers. These are not technically released just yet. We're wanting to do a giveaway, and you know what I'm going to do?
That's supposed to be tonight?
Is the giveaway supposed to? No, next week. Next week we're announcing the winners of this giveaway of these stickers, our logo stickers. We had briefly discussed this with the cast, but the way that we're going to do these stickers is at some point this week, Keys to the Kingdom will send out a tweet. For whoever retweets and likes that tweet, that they will be entered in the giveaway. All right. Also, bringing someone to the live stream will give you another entry in the giveaway, and we're gonna be giving away some stickers at the end of the next stream next Monday because it is gonna be like a mid-season finale. Next Monday is gonna be our first, I guess, mid-season finale. Though a lot of our recording sessions have been a little sparse, I guess. Hold on, I gotta fix this.
I thought it was 2 weeks off for some reason. Okay, cool.
No, because and that is because Sammy, Rachel, not Noah, on the other
Noah
side.
Duck.
Noah Duck.
Where?
Nailed it. My lovely, beautiful wife who plays Sammy, she is very pregnant. Cue the belly. Yes, obviously. I always do. It's the cutest baby belly. Look at that belly.
Wait. There it is. Wait.
There it is.
Whoop.
Yes.
There it is.
So she is very pregnant, and she's going to be having a baby in just a few weeks. So next Monday is going to be kind of a mid-season finale, and then we're gonna take a break, and then we'll come back whenever everybody's feeling up to it. Besides these stickers, we also have more stickers that we'll be releasing, I guess, alongside these. I don't know if we ever actually decided when these were going to be released as well.
At some point in the future.
At some point.
Eventually.
They can't
Come back.
Well, I feel like that's a little bit too long to wait. I feel like maybe we should release them all together. But we have what we're calling the let me see if I could find this. The puzzle sticker pack. And so it's all four of our characters with the logo as well. It's going to be really cool. Just wanted to say, and these are all separate, that you can puzzle piece together, or you can just have them separately. That's fine. Sorry, we're blocking the bottom two people. If I get boom, there's that one, and yeah, there you go. Okay. So if you're interested in those, we're going to be releasing those shortly. I will say, if you're going to buy these, make sure you buy them with the transparent option in the purchases. That'll make more sense later, because if they have the white border around them, they will not look quite as clean once they're all puzzle pieced together. So without further ado, also those were also created by our very own Sylvester Noah. He is again very incredible. Were they? Yes, they were. Yeah. Cool. Very, very talented artist. So soon those will be available as well. But yes, did you have something, Daniel? No? Okay.
No. Continue.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
That sounded like some further ado to me.
I feel like a Muppet doing that. Yeah. Without further ado, that was a lot of further ado. But now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Keys to the Kingdom Origins. Is it playing?
Title card.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
We're from worlds unknown, our stories untold. Roll away the dice.
Previously on Keys to the Kingdom Origins, the party went out on a long voyage. They had skipped 2 days because of a very high-level haste spell cast by Merlin. On this day, or on this journey so far, a few things happened. On one of the days, Sylvester saw one of these small green flames. He climbed up to the crow's nest and had to crush one of these small green flames. And he tried to do so stealthily with Tricks and Samuel up in the crow's nest, and he crushed it with his hands off of the crow's nest. And when he did, both Tricks and Samuel did not see it, but Sammy, who was on the deck of the ship, looking up, did see a little bit of a green fog. When Sylvester came down, Sammy questioned him about it, and he seemed to pull it off. He seemed to pull off the ruse without her noticing with some rolls. The next day, Tricks and Samuel spotted a ship that was tailing the Patchwork Pelican. Ended up being three ships.
Starship.
Which is the ship that the party is on, which is the ship that Grak is the captain of. And they pulled some tricky maneuvers, took some damage to the ship, but they pulled some tricky maneuvers and got out of there with their lives because of some great foresight and some magical happenings. They got out of there, just barely evading the evil queen's wrath. Grak found what's called a cryptex, and the cryptex had a series of letters on that. I'm not going to repeat them because that would be a lot. And so he has been trying to figure out this cryptex. He put in a 4-letter code that he thought might have been the correct answer. He pressed the 2 buttons on the side to unlock it, and instead of unlocking, it shot pointed spears out of both ends and stabbed through his fingers.
It also made him a really bad friend. That's weird that he did that.
Then he did bring it to Sylvester, and Sylvester tried it and also failed and also took damage. On another day, Tricks noticed a ship on the port side of the Patchwork Pelican, shouted down to Grak, informed Grak that there was a ship far, I think I said about 3 miles away from them to their port side, to their left side. And as they were examining it, the ship was covered with kind of a cloud of smoke and then disappeared. So, with all of that being said, I believe Sylvester was the last one to roll. Is that correct?
No.
Who was the last one to roll? Sammy?
I think it was
Tricks. Okay,
Because
so
I rolled a 4 on the D4.
yeah, Grak, Sammy, Sylvester, Tricks. So at the beginning of this day, I need Grak to roll me a d20. See what the outcome of the day will be.
Roll my nice little ocean die.
Ooh, some Grak dice.
Ooh.
Pretty fancy.
It's an 8.
An 8. All right. Again, there's not necessarily any bad or good numbers. Some are good, some are bad. 1 does not mean it's a bad outcome. 20 does not mean it's a good outcome. But with an 8...
You say there's not necessarily any bad or good numbers, but then say that there are bad and good numbers.
But they're mixed together. It's not in a chronological order. So getting a low number on your roll does not mean it's a good or bad outcome.
Yeah.
It's just, it could be either. Seemingly normal day out on this ship. After escaping the Queen's fleet, the crew continued on their journey toward what they presume to be, again, Neverland. They traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in only 4 days journey because they basically skipped a day with a very high level haste spell that Merlin cast. So if you can look on the map, they are right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. They are right here on the map. Currently, Grak, you are at the helm of the ship. Everyone is in your designated areas, save for Daryl. Daryl went down below deck about 30 minutes ago, and he hasn't been seen yet. But besides him, Tricks and Samuel are in the crow's nest presumably looking for any threats that could be on the waters. And Tricks, just so you know, you and Samuel, through the spyglass in the distance, can see this fog, this large wall of fog that basically encompasses to the bow, to the front of the ship, a large portion of the surrounding area. Sylvester and Robin are on the mainmast, on separate parts of the mainmast. Sylvester seemingly avoiding contact with Robin, has stayed to the port side of the ship, and Robin has been on the starboard side. Merlin, Mickey, and Bones are just kind of on the deck of the ship. Bones is kind of to your right as you're steering the ship. He's there for anything that you would need. About 1:30 in the afternoon, you hear some clanking and clamoring of pots and pans down below deck, and you hear, all of you hear John Silver say, "Aye, boy, get out of me kitchen!" And more clanking and clamoring down below deck.
Grak could probably turn to Bones and say, is it Bones or Broth is up there with him?
Bones.
Bones
is
big
the
guy,
Goliath, yeah.
Yes. So he'd probably turn to Bones and be like, you should probably go check that out.
Okay. Bones says, aye, Captain. He walks down the port side stairs down into the crew's quarters, and you hear more clanking of like pots and pans, and not necessarily like a tussle is happening, but it sounds like John Silver is trying to catch this person. And Bones walks down the stairs, and a few minutes later walks back up, kind of holding Daryl by the back of his coat. And Daryl is just kind of chuckling.
Daryl's the older one, right?
Yeah, Daryl is the one that challenged
Samuel's
you to
the
a duel.
boy.
Yes,
Yeah,
Samuel
okay.
is younger. Daryl's around early 20s, maybe 21, 22, and Samuel is about 14.
Okay.
So Bones carries him up, holding his jacket, and says, Captain, apparently Daryl was stealing food. And Daryl's like, I mean, I wasn't stealing food. I was just hungry, and I wanted to go and get some food. And then the big guy down there, he started chasing after me, saying I was stealing his food. They're both just staring at you.
I don't know if you've ever been on a ship before, Daryl, but typically there's not a lot of extra rations to go around. Whatever's on the boat is what you got for the whole trip. So we have to be very careful about how much each person eats every day, or you could run out before it's time, and then everyone goes hungry. So when you take food that's not yours, or not at the allotted time, you're stealing food.
And from the stairwell, and Grak, you're kind of having to lean over the banister to see them, because they're right in front of where the helm is. There's a probably 3-foot tall banister, and you're kind of having to lean over to see them on the main deck. And as you're looking at them, you can kind of see down the stairs to the right, John Silver with kind of a makeshift crook under his arm, kind of just like hobbling, gets to the bottom of the stairs and kind of looks up, and he says, Captain, methinks me has an idea.
I'm all ears.
So, Daryl, is it? Yeah? Captain, with your permission, I'd like to put this boy to work.
I think that would be appropriate.
And Daryl kind of looks at you and he's like, what? I already have a job. I'm on the mast. And John looks at Daryl. He looks back at you. And he's just waiting to see what you have to say.
I need to look at our list and see who we've got doing stuff.
Robin and Sylvester are the riggers currently.
You're trying to get me alone with him. Gosh darn it.
He rolled an 8. I'm just saying what I have written that happens this day.
Who do we? Okay, but that's. So the thing here says that we only need 2 riggers.
Yep.
So Grak, I guess he'll kind of survey the ocean around them, be like,
I think we've got things handled topside. You could use a little work there, lad. Make up for the food that you took. Maybe that'll help you learn your lesson.
Daryl's like, I'm just gonna be below deck for the rest of this trip. What?
You'll do whatever Silver here says to do.
Aye, boy, Captain, if the boy has a problem with being below deck, what if we put him to work outside of the ship?
Oh, what do you mean?
He reaches back and he has a I have it written down like a carving spoon for like whittling. It's kind of a curved spoon, and he says,
Captain, there be barnacles on the outside of the boat.
Aye, that there do.
"That they're due? Is that a word? Is that
yeah, sure, I guess.
That there do.
Hey there, that there do.
There do.
There that do be barnacles.
Jenny just pops out and he's like,
Skibbity bop doo bop.
he's just holding this kind of
the scat
spoon carving knife.
Oh gosh, I don't even know how he would. How would he do that? Like safely, while the ship is moving.
John probably knows how.
So, yeah, I'm sure they might. I don't know. If
Okay.
I feel like at some point, since you sailed with John Silver, you know that this is like a typical punishment for things like this. And you would know that with just some spare rope, you tie it around him and hang him off the side of the ship. And have him just scrape some barnacles.
seems dangerous, but.
Put your foot down. Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, you know what? Go further. Drown him.
Have him
Okay,
peel
not
off.
that.
There's only room for one Daryl. Sammy made that clear.
Oh boy.
This is the only Daryl.
So I guess Grok would just kind of laugh and say,
I've done my fair time of barnacle scraping back in my day. Does the body good. Daryl,
he kind of looks at him. He'll be like,
I told you we'd allow you on this ship as long as you weren't getting in the way, and if you could follow orders. It seems to me like you're having some trouble following orders, so maybe some barnacle scraping is in order.
John Silver kind of chuckles.
Ha! Aye, aye, Captain.
And he kind of throws the knife. And in one movement, like the three of you know what's happening. You, John Silver, and Bones know exactly what's happening. In a singular movement, Bones drops Daryl. I mean, Bones is almost 9 feet tall. So he's a big guy. And he's holding Daryl up like this. So Daryl's high off the ground. And in one motion, he drops Daryl. And as Daryl's falling, John Silver, with his one arm, throws this wooden carving spoon. And Daryl just catches it, like, very fluently. He drops him, he throws it, he catches it. And he just looks at the carving spoon. So for the rest of this day, Daryl is
maybe
going
not
to be
all day.
Okay, that's up to you. That's up to you.
Grok would
the duration.
probably let him suffer for, I don't know, a couple hours.
Okay.
See, because he's a landlubber. You know what I mean? I don't know how well he'd handle, being tied
Get pretty
up
seasick
by
up
a
there.
rope and dangling off the side of a boat all day. So he probably wouldn't make him do that all day. But
All right. So Daryl is currently hanging off the starboard side, kind of closer to the bow, the front of the ship. So for those of you that don't know, starboard closer to the bow means the front of the boat on the right side. He's kind of has a rope tied around his waist, and he's kind of hoisted down near where the anchor sits on the boat, and he is just scraping barnacles. He's kind of just muttering to himself, "This is ridiculous. I can't believe. I just wanted an apple." So with that, the rest of the crew goes about their day. A few hours in, nightfall comes upon the ship, and everyone seemingly, unless anybody has anything specific they would like to do, everyone seemingly heads to the chambers to rest that night. Grak, before your shift ends, Bones is standing next to you, and he's just saying, "Captain, I for a while, I never thought I'd be out on the water again. You know what I mean?"
I'm wasn't sure if I'd ever make it back out here either. After all our entanglements with the Enchantress and her forces.
Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of scared. When she attacked earlier, a few days ago, I thought we were done for. I don't scare easily, Captain. But that day frightens me quite a bit.
Okay, is he talking about when the boats attacked us, like yesterday, or is he talking about? Okay.
No, the original time
Oh,
that.
so when our ship sank,
When the Free Maiden was sunk
Gotcha.
outside of Cinderellaburg.
Gotcha.
He says, after that day, I feel like I've been looking over my shoulder a lot more, you know? I mean, you got caught. I didn't even get caught.
Thought the whole crew was dead. Was very much surprised to see you and Broth and the captain still alive.
We were the lucky ones, mate. We were the lucky ones. And he kind of walks back behind the mizzen mast, the mast that's above the captain's deck, and he kind of just is pacing a little bit while you're at the helm. And you hear kind of in the wind, you hear a voice singing.
Boy.
And you can tell that it is starboard side, closer to the bow.
What does it sound like? Is it a male voice, a feminine voice?
It's a male voice. Male voice
singing.
It's Daryl.
Okay. Well, Grok can't leave the wheel.
Yeah. Bones.
So maybe he'd call.
I mean,
out,
Bones
like,
is right there.
Yeah, I guess he'd tell Bones to go check it out.
Okay. Bones walks down the starboard side stairs over across the main deck and kind of looks over the starboard side and walks back up to you and says, Captain, it's just Daryl. He seems rather sad. I don't know. Maybe you should go talk to him.
What's it sound? Can I hear what he's singing?
Not from this far.
Okay. See, I feel like Grok probably wouldn't have had him out there that whole time. I don't think he would.
He's
he
still
would
out
still
there.
Be okay.
And currently, he is still out there. And you can see the rope that's still holding him.
Okay.
It's moved, 15 or so feet toward the front of the ship, as if he's been scraping barnacles for a while.
Okay.
Bones, why don't you take over the helm for me? I'll go talk to our erstwhile crewmate.
Aye, aye, Captain. And he,
Is erstwhile the right word for that? Probably not.
I don't know.
I can look it up.
No,
real
it's
quick.
not. It's definitely not the right
Oh,
word.
okay.
It means former.
Oh, it does.
He's a current crewmate, not a former crewmate.
Yes.
You say that, then you cut the rope.
He's got what's coming to him.
How dare
Dirty
you?
water.
Your eternal reward.
Yeah, so he'll hand the steering over to Bones and go head over to the side of the ship, kind of peer over at Daryl.
As you're walking, you can hear him, and at this point, he's kind of just humming, just kind of.
See,
I can't do this with you two.
so
DJ,
Noah and
dude.
Rebecca are reacting like they recognize that song. I don't recognize it.
Oh no.
Should I recognize that? I feel
And
like
he
I
kind
should,
of-
but I don't.
He kind of looks up as you're peering over the starboard side, and he says, "Can I stop now?"
Think you've done enough barnacle scraping for the day.
And he'll kind of grab the rope and start hauling him up.
Okay. He kind of uses the carving spoon. It's hooked at the end, kind of curved.
Okay.
Not completely curved, but kind of at a maybe 30-degree angle. He kind of uses it to pull himself up as you're pulling him up. And when he gets to the top, you see that his right hand across his palm is just kind of raw and bleeding. He switches the carving spoon over to his other hand, and he's kind of just doing one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Look, lad, if I'm honest, I didn't mean to leave you out there that long. That's my bad. I'm used to this punishment being for hardened sailors who can handle it a little longer than you could. So that's sorry.
And
We can go get that looked at.
He just kind of stares at the deck of the ship, and he says, "Aye, aye, Captain," and kind of just has a furrowed brow, and he's still kind of doing this.
Or,
He says,
you all right there, lad?
"Yeah, just been used to being on my own for a real long time now, and guess just have to get used to authority again, you know?"
On a boat, that's important.
He kind of
Yes, sir.
chuckles.
And he says, "Permission to rest, Captain."
Just a moment. I understand what you mean about being alone, losing people. If you don't mind my asking, what,
So Daryl's relation to Samuel is that he's his uncle?
No, he's just a friend.
Oh, just a friend.
No
Okay.
direct relation.
I thought he was like
It's
actually
uncle.
related to Samuel.
No,
Can you ask him?
Okay.
just friends.
Can you ask
Okay.
him?
how'd you come to know the boy, Samuel?
We grew up, kind of together. His family lived a few houses over. Our parents were friends. I always thought he was kind of annoying when we were younger, but as we got older, he's a nice guy. You can tell Daryl's demeanor has shifted after hanging off of this boat for this long and just kind of being alone with his thoughts in the hours that he's been hanging off this ship, and he just he won't make eye contact with you. He's just kind of staring at the deck of the ship the whole time. But he says, we grew up as neighbors, and that's pretty much it. our families have been like family forever. My younger sister, him, and his mom and my mom were really close.
Did your mother disappear too?
I guess you could say that. She got sick and didn't quite make it long enough to get well again, if you know what I mean. It's kind of a
Sorry to hear that.
life has a way of surprising you. One minute you think you're invincible, and the next you're scraping barnacles off of a ship.
Rock chuckles. He's like, God,
I know that feeling all too well. Had a few surprises of my own I've had to deal with in my life. Been part of a crew, the ship that was destroyed. Thought I'd never be out in the ocean again, and now here I am, captain of my very own boat, on a quest to save the world or some such nonsense. Still a little fuzzy on that part, to be honest. But I think things happen for a reason, and you just gotta be willing to roll with it. My old captain used to say, if your ship can't handle the waves, you'll break in the ocean.
Well,
Let's go get your hand looked at.
aye, aye, Captain.
maybe while they're bandaging up his hand or something, he'd ask him about Samuel's mom. So he'd be like,
So how did Samuel's mother do you have any idea what happened to her?
Yeah, she wasn't the nicest person. She had her own stuff that she dealt with after my mom passed, and I took over our family's business. I personally can't cast a spell to save my life, but just took over my mom's shop in King Georgetown, and Samuel's mom owned So What, and gosh, it feels like forever ago now that she left, but she had some stuff that she had to take care of, I guess, and she just took off in the dead of night. Just disappeared.
Unrelated to the other missing girls, then?
See, it seems like the other kids were all kids, you know. No, she had been talking about wanting to leave for a long time, but didn't want to. She didn't think Samuel was strong enough to face the world outside of King Georgetown. Part of me feels like she was right, but
No. She didn't think he was ready. So she left him alone.
as far as I understand it, she had to leave for whatever reason, and she didn't think he was ready.
Go with her.
Yeah, to go with her to, I guess, survive. I mean, Aradon is kind of crazy right now. King Georgetown is its own pocket of whatever. Boring, I
That it
guess.
is. Safe.
It's safe, exactly. And I guess she felt that he was safer there than wherever she was going.
Could be a fair assumption. Do you know why she wanted to leave at all?
I never asked. She just said that she had a lot of stuff that she needed to handle.
I kind of want to ask what her name was, but I don't know if that's.
It's up to you.
What was her name?
Samuel's mom?
Aye,
Ms.?
Miss.
Not Miss. Ms. M. I think it was M-I-Z. That's how I always assumed it was spelled. Ms.
So she was Miss.
he kind of chuckles. That one got him a little bit. He's like, I guess she was Miss Ms.
Interesting.
Grok tells jokes.
Well, I suppose we can keep an eye out for her on our travels. Maybe we might run into her, who knows?
Maybe.
Well,
It was Daryl's sisters that went missing.
Daryl's younger sister, and her
Younger
name
sister.
was Tessa. Tessa James.
maybe we'll find her. We'll find your Tessa, too.
He kind of, when you say that, he kind of, as you're kind of wrapping his hand, as you say that, he kind of pulls his hand back, and he's like, yeah. I think I'm gonna sleep, if you don't mind.
A good idea. Get some rest.
You too, Captain. And he kind of leans up against a barrel down below deck and nods off. All right. With that, Sammy.
Yes.
Yes, it is your day. I need you to roll a d20.
Said the Samuel Miss.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Gosh darn it.
That was pretty good.
He's an 18.
An 18.
I keep opening my mic. I'm sorry.
An 18. Let me see.
Ooh.
Reaching closer and closer to the edge of this fog. And now the whole crew can see it. I mean, it's at least 70 feet high, just sphere of fog, and you can kind of see it billowing at different points and kind of pulsing in and out. Not making any noise per se, but just kind of shifting with the wind and shifting with the waves. What would you be doing about early to mid-morning on the deck of this ship? You've been on this ship for almost a week at this point.
Me?
Yeah, what would Sammy Jean be doing?
I feel like she would be on her magic carpet ride, just like hovering over the ship.
Okay, just getting away from everybody.
Watching the sunrise, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. So you do you have a name for your carpet? By chance? I mean, you don't have to. It's your carpet.
Shaggy.
Ah.
The shag carpet.
Hassle. No, I haven't thought about it.
Okay, that's fine. You are high up above the main mast, and at this point, Tricks, you're the only one that can really see Sammy. Looking basically straight up, you can see the bottom of her carpet as it flies, keeping pace, sometimes speeding up and slowing down past and going past the ship and going behind the ship, but it's up in the air as she's watching the sunrise.
Can she see me from up there?
She
Or
would
is
have
she,
to
like,
look
too
over.
overhead?
She would have to look over the carpet to look down at you. But I mean, hypothetically, she could.
If it doesn't look like she's looking in my direction, I won't do anything.
Okay. Sammy. Oh, okay, this works. Sammy, as you're flying, you start to feel the wind kind of shift. You kind of the wind shifts and it starts blowing a little bit harder than it was before. And give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, it's a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Sammy's dice have been on fire the last like 3 games. So you are holding on to the tassels of this carpet as the wind starts blowing up against you and blowing so hard that the carpet almost goes completely vertical. And without hesitation, with a natural 20, I'd say that you, as the wind starts to pick up and lift the front edge of the carpet, you quickly kind of just lean into it and tuck backwards and do like a full loop as you level the carpet back out. And the wind continuously just is blowing into you. And Sammy, give me a perception check.
14.
14. As this wind is blowing, you kind of are trying to stabilize this carpet, and you look up and you see this wall of fog in front of you. And for a moment, that you can see kind of a split in the clouds, in the fog itself, and it looks like just like wind is rushing out of it directly in your direction. And this, I mean, it's still probably a full day's journey before you get to the edge of the fog, and you can see that this massive hole is just blowing air toward you. And for just a split second before you're kind of trying to control the carpet, just a split second before you lift it to kind of control it once again, it pushes you up, and right before it eclipses your vision, you feel like you can see a face in the clouds and the air being blown out of its mouth toward you.
Mufasa.
Remember who you are.
Okay.
So there's in this mist, and it's just for a split second. It's there, and then you kind of reel back as the wind gets even heavier, and you pull it back down, and the face is gone. And in that instant, the wind subsides, and you're just flying again.
Okay, well, Sammy's gonna take a little loop-de-loo down to the the deck of the ship.
There we go. Okay.
And I guess I'm gonna go tell Grak what I saw.
Okay. Go for it.
Or Merlin or somebody. I'll
Okay, go
tell
for it.
Okay, so Sammy's gonna loop-de-loo her little way down.
Okay.
Going back down to the deck of the ship. She rolls her carpet up, ties it, sticks it on her back, and she's going to very swiftly walk to Grak.
Hello.
How's it going down here, down below, down on the wheel, the helm?
It's going fine.
Perfect.
Good
You
day.
seen anything weird? Anything suspicious? Anything windy, foggy?
I don't know, did I?
You did not.
Grak kind of looks around up in the sky, observes the sails.
Everything seems normal to me.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna say that it might not all be what it appears. I was up in the air on my carpet here, and just enjoying my morning stroll, watching the sunrise. Is beautiful. And then all of a sudden, the wind just kind of took me by surprise, but it's okay. I caught myself. It was like a little roller coaster there for a while, but all is well.
What's a roller coaster?
Not much as the roller coaster with you.
We'll have a chat about that later. But I saw in the distance a wall of what appeared to be fog. And there seemed to be a little hole, if that's the way to describe it, in the fog, kind of blowing really strong wind. And if you're gonna believe me or not, bite your tail. I don't know if you will, but there was a face blowing some wind. It's very strong. And then it just disappeared, and all the wind was gone, and everything was fine, and I was just floating like I was earlier. It was wonderful.
There was a face
There was a face. It was blowing
in a
real hard.
hole in the fog up there around Neverland.
Yeah, that's what I saw with these eyes right here. They don't normally deceive me. I'm just as stunned as you are. But you know, it seemed to be what happened. It makes sense when I was up there and experiencing the strong wind
Sure.
to have a giant face blowing it at me. So
Grok will just like pull out his spyglass and just kind of take a little look-see at the fog to see if he sees anything unusual.
Yeah, roll
In the
perception.
middle of the sea.
Roll perception.
16.
Staring this wall of fog up and down, as you're sailing ever closer, you don't particularly see any faces in the fog. Just kind of a mass of mist.
Did we have a plan for navigating through this fog?
Not
Blow
particularly.
really hard.
Samuel is going to be charting, but not necessarily as far as I know, you guys don't have a plan once you get to the fog.
Seems like maybe we should have come up with a plan before we set sail.
You're almost there now.
Yeah.
If y'all want to call a meeting and do it
might be-
now, go
Might
for
be a
it.
good idea to talk to Merlin about that.
Well, thank you, Sammy. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention.
no problem. I'll just
I don't know. I don't know what's on the other side of that fog, but
Well, I can tell you it's a giant face blowing wind. It's quite strong. At least that's one thing
Right.
that's back there. Maybe it
seems like there's a whole lot of weird stuff back there.
yeah, it's probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen on this trip of mine.
Yes, Sylvester.
Just
see
for
that
my
one.
own understanding, is it that she saw a face through the clouds, or like the clouds looked like a face?
The clouds looked like a face, and the mouth was blowing air at her.
Okay, I was trying to see if I was picturing this right. I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be like a person in the clouds or like the clouds were a person. Okay, I've got it.
Yes,
Cool.
and it's not necessarily clouds; it's the wall of fog that is in front of the ship. So
Fog
yeah.
is a cloud.
What is fog if
I
not
suppose.
clouds persevering? Perspiring.
So you're telling me the fog cloud up there might fight back if we try to go through. That's good to know.
Yeah, I hope this ship has parachutes or something. We might be floating here in a little bit.
I hope not.
So you're saying it's not equipped with parachutes? We're not gonna be flying.
Most boats do not come equipped with parachutes. No.
Depends on which way the sails are facing.
Parachutes exist? Are those a thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's possible. I mean, the professor had time travel, so I feel like parachutes aren't a bad assumption as to the
Fair.
technology in this world.
That's how Sammy knows
That's
about
for
roller
time travel.
coasters.
Does that mean that roller coasters exist?
Listen,
Hey.
Sammy's been in a lot of places. We haven't finished that episode, people.
I feel like Sammy
True,
just accidentally
true.
went in the professor's time machine or whatever, and then she just knows like this infinite knowledge about the universe, but she just like rarely taps into it to make an obscure reference.
Like carpet.
Don't get your gizmazorp in a twist. My what?
Gizmos.
So should I go talk to anybody else, or are you going to take care of it, or what should I do with my information? Because I know I sound crazy, but I promise you, I'm not.
We should probably have a chat with Merlin and maybe Silver. See if they have any insight.
Okay, well let's go. Hoop-de-doo, let's run on.
Well, I can't leave, but if you want to bring them up here,
I'll go get them. I'll gather.
appreciate that.
Do you want me to grab the others as well, or just
Uh,
Merlin?
Sylvester and Tricks, you can bring them along too.
Isn't Trix up high in the little crow's nest?
Samuel can watch while she's gone.
Okay. I'm sure she needs a break anyways. I'll go get them.
Thank you.
God, I love everything Sammy says.
Me
Great.
It's
too.
amazing. Absolutely
Fantastic.
incredible. The Crow's Nest is now what the name of that is. The Crow's Nest.
It's not the coziness.
okay.
You know?
They have good tortillas.
I mean, it's not
Okay.
hard to find everyone.
Well, I was gonna like hop on my carpet and fly up to get
Okay,
Trix.
go for it.
Have her hop on. So Sammy gets on her carpet and she's gonna fly up to the crow's nest. She picks up Trix. I guess I should tell her. Hi Trix, it's me. Howdy ho. You wanna hopperoos up on my carpet here? We've got some meetings to have.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay too.
Yeah, Samuel, you got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, keep those eyes open.
Yes, ma'am.
You're down to 2. Trix, come on.
What?
It sounded so threatening.
You were confiscating his other eyes.
I understood what you're saying because Trix has 2, and now
Yes, Trix
he. But it's just how you said it.
Sounds like such an ominous threat. It's like you just have a conversation with someone and they're just like, all right, you're down to 2. Like, what does that mean?
Make them count.
All right, so Trix jumps on the carpet, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna swoop. Where's Sylvester?
He probably
Look
just be
for
on
the
the deck.
opposite of Robin.
Okay, so we're gonna swoop down.
Sylvester's at the bottom of the ocean at this
Write
point.
that down for whoever that
Where he
was.
wants to be, I think.
Swimming with the fishes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So we go down to the deck. We'll hop off. Grab Sylvester. Sylvester!
Oh, yeah.
What happened to your thumbs? Never mind, it's not important. Sylvester, we need you to come along with us because we got some meetings.
I'm in.
We got things. Okay, perfect. Let's go. We're gonna go get Merlin.
Yep. Cool. Let's go. Right now.
Okay, we're gonna run.
Okay.
I got my gang.
You gather Trix, Sylvester, and Sammy. You gather Merlin, and who else did you say you're gonna grab?
Silver.
Silver, John Silver.
So
Yeah,
Silver-
I'll say Bones being the first mate up on the deck with you. He probably heard this conversation. He went to get Silver himself. So he's as you guys are running up the stairs on the starboard side, they're coming up the stairs on the port side, and he kind of has his arm around John Silver, and they're kind of walking up the stairs, and they meet on the captain's deck.
And we've already got Merlin.
Merlin is still in his chambers down below deck.
Oh,
So
no.
Somebody's gotta go get him.
Okay, so I guess we'll go get him, or I'll go
Okay.
get him, or we'll all go.
Somebody's going.
Okay,
Okay.
Take the whole party, boy.
We all kicked down his door.
Well, yeah, we go in rushing.
Sammy,
Ladies and
you
gentlemen.
rush. You all rush down the stairs, and Sammy, you kind of knock on his door. Do you knock?
I feel like I would just open it.
Okay.
Maybe like a knock and then an open, so he knows I'm coming.
I'm so tempted to say it's locked, but it's not.
I'll open it.
You bust in through the door, and on the bed, the sheet, he kind of has the sheet over him, and he sits up really fast, and the sheet's kind of over his head.
Merlin, surprise!
He kind of grabs the sheet and pulls it down. Merlin, surprise!
Is that like Shia surprise?
Who opened the door like that?
Merlin, surprise! All right, so
Child, Merlin surprise.
so
Okay.
he kind of pulls the blanket down, and Sammy, you see the same boy that you met up in the tower in Cornelia.
Daniel? Oh, no, Howard.
Merlin.
Oh,
Young
Merlin.
Merlin.
Oh, I see the
Yeah,
boy.
Merlin.
Okay.
He is a
Young
child
Whoa,
again.
you're a boy. Okay.
Yes, I have been. I don't understand what you're saying. What?
Well,
He kind
the
of like
last
looks at his
time
hands, and he's like, "Ah, man, not again."
Yeah, you were old when I saw you last. Okay.
Yeah, I was
listen,
old when I
Merlin.
saw me last too.
Well, no, you're young. Now listen, I need you to come with us because we've got to go talk to Grok. We've got to have a meeting. It's important. I need you.
Okay. Kind of scoots out of bed, wearing the same pajamas you saw him in back on in the Robin's treehouse. There's like the kind of a silk blue robe with stars and moons on it. But he follows you. You guys head up to the captain's deck.
Okay, Grok, got them all. Here we are. What you want to do? Let's discuss your ruse.
Well, the way I see it,
Sylvester. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
No,
ahead.
you go for it. You go for it. I was gonna
Nope.
say something stupid.
No, you go for it. I want to hear it.
Can't say anything stupider than Sammy has by now.
All right, Sylvester's gonna look at Silver. He's gonna look back at like downstairs and look back at Silver. If you're here, who's stirring the soup? See, I told you it was
Boy.
stupid. It's disappointing now. That was stupid.
Dude, we're not having soup tonight. Boy, it's, actually barnacles from, off the starboard side of the ship. Ah, just kidding. We're having soup, mate.
Yes, I know not eating barnacles is not a thing you do.
He kind of looks at you, Grok, and he's like,
Mate, where'd you find this guy?
Prison.
would you believe he's first in prison?
okay. So everyone is assembled on the captain's deck. Grok, go for it.
Way I see it, we've got about a day left before we hit that there fog cloud. I don't know all the legends about this here place we're about to be heading into, so I thought I'd call a meeting, as it were, and see if you all had any input on how we might be going about navigating and getting to our destination.
I have no
I'll
idea.
talk at once.
Can you repeat the question?
Merlin kind of raises his hand.
You don't have to raise your hand there, Merlin. You can just talk.
Okay, sir. So, I don't know what I can do anymore.
Hey, same.
What do you mean?
I see. The weird thing about the powers that I have is whenever I go from old to young, I only have a few of my abilities, but I don't know which ones they are.
Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about that, I don't think.
I say that to say I don't know if I could probably make like a big light or maybe even a small light. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's nothing to be sorry for. We can try, and if that doesn't work, maybe we can come up with something else. Anyone else got any ideas?
Well, I
Sylvester
have a-
raises his hand.
Okay.
Sorry,
Sylvester,
sorry, Rachel.
You don't
No,
have
you're
to
good.
raise
You
your
raised
hand.
your
You
hand.
you can just talk.
So fog, right? Does light help with that? Like, light, light, like light, not like wait, light.
Like a lamp light?
Yeah.
Normal fog, yes. I'm under the impression that this is some kind of magical fog. I don't know how that might work. I have literally no idea.
What about magic light?
Dispel magic?
Possibly. But again, we don't know what Merlin's capable of here.
Oh well, I mean, I could do magic light.
Be worth a shot.
I do things. I'm here. I'm not just a pretty face. I know I've got chiseled features, but hey.
You make a good point. All right, anyone else?
John Silver.
Captain, I feel as though sailing through fog is, most difficult, obviously, because of the lack of sight. Maybe, once we get in, it might be easier to see.
Oh, that's possible. We don't know what's on the other side of that fog wall. Could be
I
clear
do.
as day. Okay, well, apparently there might be a face in the fog wall that we have to
That blows
look
very
out
strong
for.
wind.
A face. There might be a face. Like a big face.
That's what Sammy says. She says she saw a face in the
The
fog.
face.
How big was the
You saw a
face?
face in the fog.
It's
I have a
pretty-
big face. How big was the face? Was it my face? Was it like it's bigger than my face?
No.
It was smaller. Hey guys, it was smaller than my face.
I almost
Nice.
lost my accent. That's why I stopped and like took my note down.
No.
Just caught yours. No. No, it was rather large. It was made of fog. It was blowing very strong wind, and it was up there, up high.
Sylvester looks up.
In heaven?
Not that high.
Oh.
Oh,
A little
oh, thank
lower,
God. I mean,
above the crow's nest, but not as high as heaven.
Okay. Captain.
Sylvester gets nervous.
Yes.
Just so you know, I feel as though we're much less than a day's journey to the fog.
Oh, are we?
I mean, at the start of this day, that's why I pulled this up. At the start of this day, you guys were
Okay,
there.
I
but
couldn't remember the map. I thought we had like the rest of this day to finish out, and then we'd hit the fog at the start.
You hit
of
the
the
fog
next
at the
day.
middle, in the middle of this day.
Okay, gotcha.
In a few hours.
And Samuel looks over the crow's nest, and he says, Captain Grok?
Aye.
I think you should look at this.
Is he like pointing at anything?
He's just pointing
it a
to the
face?
front of the ship.
Okay, Grok will look out at the front of the ship.
Okay, you look toward the front of the ship, and the fog, the wall of fog, whereas you were sailing toward it before, it starts to shift towards you.
Well, that's fun. Okay. So Grok's gonna call the crew to action here. He's gonna say,
All right. I don't know what's behind that fog cloud, but we need to be prepared for anything. Half-mast. We'll need some men at the cannons just in case. And, Merlin, Sylvester, and Sammy, we might need you ready to cast some magic.
Aye.
We'll try a light and maybe some wind to try and dispel some of this here fog. See if we can get a lookout.
and they'll call it to Samuel.
Samuel,
Yes, Captain.
I hope you're ready to start charting what we can see.
Aye, Captain. And he has like a little journal that in a quill, and he's just waiting.
I don't
That's
know if
it.
I have any.
Okay. As the crew of the Patchwork Pelican break the barrier of the fog that is currently rolling towards you as you are sailing into it, there's no change in atmosphere necessarily. It just becomes very dense and hard to see, like driving when it's extremely foggy on board of the ship, because you guys know the ship so well. You don't have much trouble getting around, but outside of the direct area of your view, it's very difficult to see. So what did you say that you were going to be trying to do?
half-mast, so we're going slowly.
Okay.
Got some people at the cannons in case there's anything that tries to attack us. And I want our casters to try and do like some light. And if that doesn't work, like some wind, or maybe dispel magic or something, anything that could. So we'll have Merlin try first, just to see if he can. And if he can't, then like Sylvester can try something, and Sammy can try something, or I don't know.
Hey, I'm second up.
Well, I figure you're a party member. You need to save your spell slots.
Merlin kind of goes toward the bow of the ship, and he closes his eyes and puts both hands out in front of him, and in the center of his palms, a small, almost like a Christmas light, starts to glow, and he closes his hands really tight and opens them back up, and all of you are almost blinded by the amount of light that comes out of his hands, and he turns them and shifts them forward, and it gives more visibility to the path in front of you. And as you're sailing half-mast, it becomes more and more apparent that you aren't entirely sure where you are. After a few hundred feet, kind of looking back over your shoulder, you can't even make out the direction you came in. Are you still going straight? You know, are you going half-mast? It's hard to tell the speed that the ship is even going.
There's no knowing
Tricks.
where we're going.
Give me a perception check. I'm going to roll one for Samuel as well. What's yours?
Hope Samuel rolled well.
There's no earthly way of knowing which
What was
direction
yours?
we are going.
12.
12.
There's no knowing where we're running.
He rolled a 14.
Or which way the river's flowing.
So, as you are sailing, very, very
is
far
Grox-
in the distance. Yes, sorry.
Is Grok's compass working?
Is
Because
it
I'm assuming
pointing
he would have
north?
like a compass. Yeah, it's a regular compass.
Um,
He would have a compass up
At
while
the
he's
moment,
steering
yes.
to try and help keep
You-
them on a steady.
yeah, at the moment you
Straight
are
direction.
heading northeast.
Okay.
Your compass steers you true.
He'd try and keep them on that heading.
Okay. Samuel shouts down over the crow's nest. Captain! There's a ship! And Grok, now that he's pointed it out, you can see vaguely off in the distance that there is a ship.
Where? Ahead of us? To our side?
Toward the bow, ahead of you.
Okay.
Pointing at our ship.
What's it look like?
Is that
Give
it on the
me
map there?
investigation, yeah.
And
10. You can make out kind of the back of this ship. It's a kind of a seemingly dark wood through the mist, but as you keep rolling and rolling,
how close is it?
at the moment, let's see. At least 800 feet away. At the very least.
Dang, Merlin's got some nice lights. If you can shine out that far. Okay. We've got some people on the cannons, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can put people on cannons if you choose.
Yeah, so we'll just make sure there's some people on the cannons ready in case something happens. But
Establish
we'll
dominance.
Avoid
The bow cannons?
starting a fight if we can. Yeah, one. So we'll have one. Oh yeah, there's two at the front, isn't there? I don't have the map of like the ship layout.
I have it up right now.
Okay, yeah. So two at the bow cannons, and then maybe like one on each side.
Okay.
So I don't know who you need to put on that.
Okay. Currently, Give me just one moment.
I don't remember who we'd set as the gunners.
Mickey was one of them.
Mickey and Merlin, I believe, were on the front guns before, but you can change that to be whoever you want it to be.
Yeah, we need Merlin's light.
Let me just set this up real quick. Merlin, though the token is an old man, he is kind of standing on the bowsprit.
Like Titanic.
Yes, but he has both hands outstretched, and his arms are kind of
Like
shaking.
the Titanic.
So who's standing behind
Not
him?
not like this, like this.
For those listening at home, it was not out, but forward.
And forward in front of him as if casting this spell to light the direction that you are going.
Like a
Bones
Kamehameha wave.
is up on deck with you. Grok, I'm assuming you are at the helm. Where is everybody else?
Bones should be at a front cannon. Little John should be
Bones
at a front cannon.
at a front cannon.
Yeah.
Can Sammy be on her carpet up above the ship again?
Yeah. My Atlanta. Boy,
We'll just have the front cannons manned for now. People can move to a side cannon if they need to. I don't know if we have enough crew to spare to have 4 cannons manned at once.
Sammy, are you closer to the front or the back of the ship? On your.
I'm probably closer, like right above the middle. Can I be above?
Right above the
middle?
mast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you said you wanted Bones on a cannon at the front, and
Yeah,
who else?
Bones and Little John on the front cannons.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you want Broth anywhere specific or just below deck?
I think Broth was below deck to be
Okay.
the engineer, right?
Robin is still on the main mast.
Yeah.
Sylvester,
I think
have
everyone
you
else
gone
would just
back?
kind of stay in their where we had them before.
Okay. So is everyone up on the captain's deck, or were you having this conversation on the main deck at the front of the ship?
Probably captain's deck because Grok would be up at the helm.
Okay.
Yeah. Sylvester was in line behind Merlin for like when it didn't work, he was going to step up and do his thing, and
Yeah.
then he saw it work, so he disappointingly went back to the mast.
Okay. I'd say that Daryl is up at the front near Little John, just kind of watching out ahead. Noah, where is Sylvester on the ship? One more time.
Back at the mast.
Back of the main mast?
Oh no, back at the mast. So he'd be back
The
where
mizzen mast.
he was before.
Back here?
Just at whatever mast he needs to be at.
For
I
his,
don't know which
for
one's
his
not
duties?
manned.
I mean, you could choose
Yeah.
any of the mast. Foremast, mizzenmast, or main.
Which one is Robin at?
Robin is at the main mast.
Okay, not that one then.
So either fore or mizzen. Do you want a good view of what's happening, or do you want to be in the back of the boat?
I'll say forward because that's where he was. That's where he was closest to.
Okay. Broth is below deck. Okay. So as you are,
Half speed, approach with caution, kind of off to maybe to the side of the boat if we can. We don't want to ram
okay,
it. Of course.
left side or right side?
We'll have it approaching on our starboard side.
Okay.
Can Sammy see anything from her perception up high?
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
16.
16. You can see with a 16 that the ship seems to be quite a bit bigger than the ship that you're on.
Oh.
But your vision kind of fades after a distance. So going half speed at this point, you said on the starboard side?
Yeah, so
So it's on-
we would be on its port side,
Gotcha. Okay. So as you're sailing,
assuming it's facing the same direction we are.
it is.
Okay.
You see faintly clearly that the ship itself is broken.
Oh.
Down the
that's what I thought.
center of the ship is completely torn in half.
Oh, that's fun.
As you continue sailing into this mist, you see another ship directly in front of that, and a little bit to the north, because you guys are now sailing east on an eastern heading. You see another ship, and then as you continue to sail, it just seems like there's ships and as far as you can tell, there are two ships kind of dissecting a trench in this open water. There's ships on the starboard side, ships on the port side. About 3 or 4 on the starboard side, and 2 or 3 on the starboard side, or on the port side, and they are just destroyed. Directly in front of you, there are 2 ships that kind of raised at the back and pointing down into the center of a almost makeshift canal. And as you strain your eyes to focus on what is making this canal, you see more ships and more ships and more ships and more ships and more ships until it almost becomes a maze. Grak, give me a athletics check to steer through.
I was gonna say we might have to hoist the, or not hoist, but whatever the
Hoist.
opposite of
Yes.
lower,
Raise.
but lowering.
Raise.
It's so weird because you
Yes.
say raise the sails and you're thinking like expanding the sails to catch the wind. I don't know. Whatever. Pull up the sails so we're not sailing anymore, and maybe. But we don't have people to row, do we?
No.
We don't have rowers.
So are you coming to a full stop?
Does it look like there's a way forward through it at all?
I mean, yeah, the ships are almost carving a trail that seems manageable enough to follow.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just kind of go as slow as we can, and yeah, I guess so. Athletics check, you said?
Yes. To steer, also, since you're changing the speed, I need Sylvester and Robin to make athletics checks as well.
Oh, right. I
Would
can
the
roll that
slower
digitally.
speed give me a lower athletics check DC?
It would.
Okay.
You said acrobatics or athletics? Acrobatics, you said. Yes.
Is it? No, I think it's
Yeah.
acrobatics. Yes, sorry. Yes, acrobatics.
Okay, 11 from me.
Okay. Robin does not have an issue. He
Of course not.
kind of almost at the same time, he looks over at you, Sylvester, and he sees
Sylvester looks
what
away.
you're doing. You're in front of him, so you could just continuously be
Okay,
spacing
cool.
forward.
Cool.
He's pulling on these ropes, and you get yours wrapped up, and he kind of jumps off the back and pulls, and the sails go up, and he climbs the rope again, tying it around the mast. Grak, what was your...
I rolled a 17.
17, perfect. As the masts go up, Grak, you notice that the ship does not slow down.
Oh. That's concerning. So he'll give the order to raise the sails all the way, like try and do a full stop, see if that
Okay.
works.
Okay. Give me another acrobatics check.
Make up your dang mind.
Sammy, give me a perception check. Trix, give me a perception
Yeah, I
check.
was about to ask.
Ayaha! 8.
8.
Hitting my
Ooh.
funny bone.
9.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a 6 or a 9.
13. Man. That stinks. Okay.
We're all gonna die. We're all
So,
gonna die.
Robin sees Sylvester kind of struggling, and he pulls his mast in the center mast. He's now doing this by himself. So, I mean,
Boss.
it shouldn't happen because it is the center mast, and he is pulling this up and tying it off by himself. He ties off the mast in a length of rope, and kind of holding the rope, wraps it around his hand, and jumps backwards off the mast, swinging low to the deck, up to the forward mast where Sylvester is, and helps Sylvester pull his up and tie his off. So Sylvester, he's now about 20 feet to your right, helping you pull up this mast and tie it off. Grak, the ship does not slow down. Sammy, what was your perception?
Well, if I can figure out if this is a 6 or a 9.
That would be a 9, I believe, because I believe the dot is on the bottom side.
Okay, so then it would be 11.
11. Okay. Sammy, you see that off in the distance in front of the ship, there's a clearing in the water.
I don't like it.
From your vision up above. Tricks, it's
Can
a
I
little bit
tell
too
them?
hard to see. If you want to.
Why do I hear the Wind Waker?
There's a
Aqua
hole,
music?
you said? A hole
There's
in the
there's
water?
an opening in the water where the ships encompass most of the surrounding of this area at this point. There is an area not too far ahead that is open sea again.
Grak.
Aye.
Oh, hi. There is an opening in the water up ahead.
Grok's gonna call everyone to battle station, so he'll be like,
All right, we can't stop, so all we can do is prepare for what's ahead. Battle stations. We want all the cannons manned, and we want our casters ready to fight.
Okay. Everyone gets in position. Do you want Merlin to drop his lights?
no, because we need to see.
Okay. So everyone except for Merlin
maybe
gets in
dim them a little
positions.
bit. I don't know.
Okay.
Merlin, stay at the very front of the ship in the most vulnerable part.
Yes. So as you're continuing to sail, the numbers of the ships are almost overwhelming, but eventually, after some time, you do manage to find this opening, this break in the area that Sammy is talking about. And as you sail into this, with your sails are completely up, there's no, I mean, there's they wouldn't be catching any wind at this point. Your ship is just continuously moving forward, and as it pulls into this area of open ocean, you notice that the edge of it is completely covered.
Oh
Why do
my
I hear boss music?
You are in the center of probably 600 feet in every direction of the ship. There is just a graveyard of destroyed vessels.
Okay. So, can I Gosh. And so, are we still moving, or did we come to a stop in the middle?
The ship started coming to a stop, and at the same time that the ship is coming to a stop,
Can I tell what
it
maybe has
starts
torn apart
to
the other
rotate
boats? Great. Fantastic.
good.
Okay, that's fun.
in the water.
I don't even know what to do here.
How strong is Sammy's carpet? Can
no
she pick
idea.
the ship up?
No, she could not pick the ship up.
I mean, I feel like at this point, it seems like we're kind of just along for the ride. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. I could give the call to abandon ship, but I don't know if we have any dinghies. Or how successful that would be.
I mean,
Well,
if
if
the
there's
bigger
like a
boats,
Kraken or something out here, I don't think dinghies would survive better
Off
than the...
the starboard side of the ship, through the fog, immediately pulling all of your attention, is the fog itself starts to blow in your direction. And Grok, you notice something. Where you are in the ocean is silent. Where typically you would hear waves, you would hear seagulls, you would hear just the sound of wind itself blowing. Right now, the ocean is still. The water doesn't move. There are no waves. So much so that it almost feels like you're on land. save for the shifting of the smoke to the port side near the back of the ship.
I mean, so if we can, I think the only thing we can do is maybe try and get out.
Okay.
So I would maybe give an order to see if we can turn around, get the sails. I don't know. I mean, it depends on which way the wind is blowing, I guess. But if there's no wind right now, we can't go anywhere because we don't have any rowers.
I was gonna say just have Merlin cast the Expeditious Retreat or whatever, but he's a kid now.
Yeah, I don't know if he can do that. Can I look out at the water?
Yeah.
And see, is there anything weird about the water?
Yeah. Give me a perception check or investigation.
Can I also try looking around again?
Sure. Investigation. Anybody that wants to look around, give me investigation because you
Yep.
are
Look
investigating
around,
what's
look
going on.
around.
It's a
I will
21
do
from
that.
me.
Okay.
21 also from me.
16 from me.
15.
Grak and Sylvester, looking toward where this shift in the density of the fog is coming from. Both of you kind of leaning forward and staring into seemingly emptiness in front of you.
How dare you?
Hello?
God?
You
Who's there?
dare come into my realm.
Okay, not God. That's good.
Who are you?
I can smell you, Paragon.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that sounds really weird.
Are we in the Paragon?
What's
Are you Paragon?
Grok's gonna look around and see if anybody is reacting to this, like if anyone might know he's talking to them.
Oh, this isn't like
Everyone-
a giant voice.
All of you can hear this. Everyone on the ship is kind of looking around like panicking.
But
Oh.
nobody recognizes themselves as, oh, he's talking to me. I'm the Paragon. Like,
Nope.
no one knows what that means. Okay.
Oh, the Paragon is me.
Anybody have a dictionary?
Have you come to face me?
Do we see where this voice is coming from at all?
You cannot see where this voice is coming from. The fog
Okay.
is way too dense.
Okay.
Have you come to face me, Paragon?
No.
Who's the
Sylvester looks
Paragon?
at.
We're just here to find some missing kids, that's all. We're not here to pick a fight.
You don't even know who you are. A Paragon who doesn't know their worth is worthless.
Ouch.
To be fair, we don't know who you are either, so there's just generally a lot of confusion going on here. And if you could just let us go, that would be great.
Yeah, my feelings are starting to get hurt.
Ask him what his name is.
Instead of ripping your souls from your bodies, like the rest of these worthless creatures that dare enter my domain.
No thanks.
Paragon of courage, Paragon of patience, Paragon of heart, Paragon of hope, and Paragon of strength. I offer you a chance to show me your worth. If you pass, I will allow your existence to continue.
With that, the fog starts blowing even harder toward the party, and you all kind of in this same moment shift toward the other people in the party. Merlin, as this fog is shifting, he gets almost blown back into the air about 10 feet, and then around him a dark green sphere almost crystallizes and freezes him in place. Same thing with Robin. Pushes him back, he freezes in place. Same thing with Little John. Pushes him back and he freezes in place. Bones, Broth, Daryl, all of them being pushed back and frozen in place. And the four of you stand on the captain's deck, staring into the center of this fog.
Do you accept?
Where's Mickey?
We accept.
Yeah, so there's just the 4 of us on deck right now, right? He said 5 paragons. There should be another person.
Where's Mickey?
And that's
Do
5 is way
you
more than a pair.
accept?
Well, I feel like we don't have much of a choice, but I think your count's off by 1. There's only 4 of us up here.
As this groan fills the air, the mist thickens, and on the captain's deck, you hear from the main deck, boom, like something heavy just hit the deck of the ship.
So, I guess, yeah, Grok will turn around and see what's there.
Grok, you turn and start walking toward the deck of the ship, and as you look over the banister that's at the captain's deck, you see a creature with a long trench coat and a tricorn hat, seaweed dripping off of the leather, and the creature is just kind of breathing slowly.
Hello.
When you say hello, the creature turns towards you, and you see the flesh on this creature's face is almost torn off, and you can see the bones and the just like the muscles on the inside of his skin underneath his cheeks. The skin is almost wrapping up around his chin, what's left of it, and there's a thick black beard hanging off of his chin. But the rest of his face is just a skull. And he lifts a sword up towards you, Captain Grok, and lets out a blood-curdling shriek. Thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Johnny. I am your DM, and joining me today is
Noah as Sylvester.
Rachel, and I'm Sammy.
Daniel as Grok.
And Rebekah as Tricks.
Thank you all once again so much for joining us. You guys are incredible. We appreciate every single one of you, and have a magical day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh.
Huh?
We're from worlds unknown. Our stories untold. Roll away the dice. We'll vanquish the darkness. See the fear in its eyes. No matter the danger from us to send, don't be afraid, just take my hand. Don't be afraid, the prophecy is near. We hold the keys, we make our stand. In this together, just take my hand. Unlocking the magic in distant lands, we're stronger together. I'm here, my friend. Unlocking the magic. Just take my hand. We hold the keys to the kingdom.
Wow, you're just like that planet in Star Wars. It also has two suns.
Which planet, Noah?
called,
The
Noah?
sandy one.
Which planet is
What's
that,
the name
Noah?
of it?
There's a few sandy ones.
Sandy Wan Kenobi.
That's very bad. Like, that's not even like.
Not even a play on a planet name.
Oh! Listen.
Tatooine,
I watched
Noah.
Star Wars.
Tatooine.
That was Tatooine? Okay.
Yes, that was Tatooine. That's where like all the movies started.
Listen, I watch the movies so I can understand my friends' jokes. I don't watch them for the geography.
Not so you can understand your own jokes.
I never understand my own jokes. Why do you think I say them?
That's
I need to see if they make sense so I
Fair
can
enough.
reuse them or not.
fair enough.